Hi guys, it's Paula from PSE and Creations. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're returning. Today's video is going to be a process video. Yeah, it's a process video. So I did a Whatnot show last night. It was World of Papers Collide, and it was the crafting community as well as the ephemera community, because when we paper craft, specifically junk journaling, many of us use ephemera, vintage ephemera, newer ephemera, anything that ephemera sellers at one point in time may have discarded because it's not sellable or still collectible for someone, right? So anyways, there was a train. I participated in it. I did a craft, and my craft or my demo that I did was making a junk journal cover. This right here. This is not the one I made on the demo. The one I made on the demo was a buyer's giveaway. So whoever purchased was entered in a giveaway, and someone won it. Schmidt Auctions on Whatnot. Marla, specifically of Schmidt Auctions, won it. So it is now packed and ready to be delivered to her so that she can use it. But the point of this video is I was selling kits that just had the items that I used. You can use so much more to make this cover using a large mailer envelope. So, and a napkin, some scrap pieces of paper. They don't have to be vintage or anything to that extent. But if you have little cutoffs that are from vintage papers, you can use that. It could just be regular white paper. It could be packing paper. It could be whatever you want. Or you can just leave the words that are on your envelope and it would be seen through the napkin. It's your choice. And then one piece of some type of scrapbook paper. It could be double-sided. And if it's not double-sided, that's okay, because we will refer back to the scrap pieces of paper. So this video is just going to show how I made this cover of this journal. So I've already inserted papers in it. It's not decorated. It's, well, except for that pocket right there that has some vintage ephemera in it. It's not decorated. It's just a naked little journal. This one will be available on my Whatnot marketplace if anybody's interested. And it has the hidden, or not so hidden, right? Little tag. So we repurposed the window. We did not get rid of the window. Takes a little bit of work to cut it out and make sure that, you know, you can fit a tag in there. But that's what we're going to make today. So this video, I'm putting it out there because, like I said, I did have kits of that I had made up that have really everything that you would need to make the cover. As I'm showing it, you can obviously use so much more. And Whatnot has a new policy where you can't go back and review videos. And I didn't multicast, meaning I didn't copy the video over to my YouTube channel. You don't care about any of that. Let me just show you. I do want to say, this is not my idea. This idea here to do what I'm doing here, not exactly how I'm doing it, but the idea, the concept itself was from, I got it about 2 or 3 years ago, maybe, from a video from Treasure Book, Natasha from Treasure Books. I think many journalers are very familiar with her videos. She's very step-by-step detailed on her videos. And that's where I got this idea from years ago. And I had made one a while back, sold the journal, and then I thought it was a good demo to just show how you can use and recycle things, and also use, you know, scraps and papers of ephemera that maybe is not in the best condition to be collectible. So let's get started. I did not do any of it because I did want to show you guys. So this envelope was cut open when I got my mail out of it. And now I'm just going to go and trim the bottom and the sides. You can use a trimmer, you can use scissors, you can use whatever you want. You just want to take a sliver off. Just a sliver. It doesn't really matter how much you take off. I'm not going to do any measuring. The only measuring that I will probably do on here is just to let you know how much the scrapbook paper that I cut, because this is obviously not going to be 12 by 12. So we are going to cut some of it off because we don't need the whole thing. So this envelope here just so happens to not really have tons of writing on it. It has a little bit right here. So what I can do is I can add this vintage dictionary page there. Yeah. Or I can add this if I want to. Maybe I'll just make this a little bit. And you don't have to do any of these extra steps. Because again, this will be underneath the napkin, but maybe I don't want it to, when it does peek through, maybe I don't want it to be all like noticeable. Another thing that I probably will do is I'm going to use vintage photo, and I probably will distress maybe some of these pieces here. Again, optional step. And I could just choose to just do a sliver of this, but I think I'm just going to do like this right here. I could also do it like this if I wanted to. Yeah, maybe I'll do it like that. Okay, so I'm just going to use my Scotch permanent glue. And just put that down. And I will be sewing around mine, but you don't have to sew either. So keep that in mind. All right, so right here, I don't care about this number right here. I mean, it's barely even noticeable. Okay, so, but I do want to cover this here. So I think for that, I have this strip of music paper, which is perfect. Just gonna and you can decide how much you want to do. I think I want to do the whole thing. Okay. I just folded it over there. You don't have to, you can cut it off. I just figured just a little bit extra reinforcement, right? All right, so now we go into the Mod Podging. So I did recommend to use a napkin that's not directional, because that way, unless it's one of those tall napkins, the dinner napkins, I think they're called, this using a non-directional one is the best idea, because it will ensure that you don't have to cut it in half and then flip it, and then you'll have a seam. Another thing is I'm not going to put any Mod Podge down where the window is, right? Because I'm going to cut that out once everything is dried. One thing that I'm going to do though is I am going to take my glue stick, okay? This is something different that I did not do when I did the demo, but I'm going to see if I could just put a little bit of glue around here in hopes that, because I don't tend to, I don't know what happened there with that glue. I don't tend to get close enough with the Mod Podge. You don't want to get Mod Podge on that window, okay, is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter if you do. It just, what happens is then you'll have a harder time cutting off the excess to expose the window. Okay. Oh, look at that. I'm just getting it everywhere. So another thing you can do, actually, if you wanted to, is you could just clean the window, right, with like a baby wipe or something. Like if I come in and just do this before I'm going to lay the napkin down because I did one side already, and then we'll do the other side. And you don't have to do it like this. You can do the Mod Podge all over and then lay your napkin down. I'm just trying to do it in 2 steps just to show. Okay, so we have it there. So let's go ahead and continue Mod Podging. And listen, if you don't like Mod Podge, I understand that. A lot of people do not like it. They don't like the crinkly look that sometimes you get. I like that. Mine doesn't seem to be sticky. I know that people complain about that as well, that Mod Podge leaves like a stickiness to it afterwards. Again, not things that I've experienced personally. Maybe I'm just oblivious to it. So, yeah. And let me show you which one I'm using. This one right here. That's made for paper. Okay, so we have our layer to hold it. Now you can cut off if you want, or you can leave it and then just Mod Podge on the top. I'm just going to go ahead and cut off, just because then I can use this strip for something else. And it won't be all hard because I got Mod Podge on it. This I won't use. I'm not that crazy. Although I will share, there have been times where I've tried to fix something and by mistake made it worse, made like a little hole or something, and having these like extra little strips allows me to kind of go in and patch it up. So there is that benefit as well. Okay, now I'm going to add another layer on the top this time. And here's where I'm saying, just, try not to get it on the window, just to make life easier for yourself when we cut out the window. I guess you can use a smaller brush too to do that piece of it. I don't know. I don't think it's that critical. Make sure you get enough on the corners. I think you know this if you've Mod Podged before. Those are the ends, the sides, the ends, the edges. That's the word I'm looking for. Always tend to want to lift. And I will say, be careful where you have your hand positioned, because sometimes if it's not dry and you position your hand, then all of a sudden it's sticky and you lift and the whole thing comes up at you. So lots of fun. It's fine. It's fine, guys. It's not an issue. Not a big deal. Have fun with it. Just have fun. Okay, this says far, and every time I look down at it, it's that music sheet that we put over there. Every time I look down at it, I feel like it says fart. But it's far, F-A-R, not F-A-R-A-R-T. There's a whole letter missing, and I'm not sure why I feel like it says something it doesn't. Okay. Now we wait for it to dry. Okay? Okay guys, our pattern, or I'm sorry, our cover is completely dry. So now we're just going to try to cut the napkin off the window without cutting the acetane of the, actually, you know what? One thing that you can actually do that I didn't, oh no, I don't want to try that because I think it's going to rip then. Never mind. I was going to say maybe you can peel this off and then cut the, so we're not going to do that though. So I'm going to take just my little scissors. I'm just going to poke a little hole. Again, just be careful that you're not poking, you know, through the acetane or through, and then we're just going to just follow the pattern of the shape of the window the best that you can. When I did the demo and whatnot, I used my big old scissors because I couldn't find my little ones. And these are still not my little ones. These are actually, don't yell at me, these are my scissors that I use when I use my sewing machine. They're not fabric scissors though. So I can see a little bit of the Mod Podge looks like it got on here, so it's just making it a little bit harder to get the paper off. Okay. If you have a better way of doing it, please do it. However, it makes the most sense to you. This takes maybe a few minutes. I know that I'm probably making it look much more difficult than what it is. Sometimes it just comes off really easy. And you could just try to, okay, that's it. You can clean it up if you want a little bit. Let's see, there's a little bit right here. Maybe a little bit right there. Okay, so that's actually, sorry. That's it. Now let's cut off any excess that we have that we didn't cut off before. Oh, I feel like I'm cutting my envelope here. That's because I am. Good gosh. Okay, I think I have everything else. So that is our, and do you see how it's lifting here? Oh wait, no, this is the envelope. This is going to be covered anyways, so I'm not worried about it, but I am gluing that down. Okay. So here's our cover. Cardstock. Okay, this is the cardstock that I'm going to use. So this is going to be on the inside of our, wow, I did not, did I do what I said I was supposed to do or not? It looks like not. Okay, this is going to be on the inside. So because that's going to be on the outside, there's going to be white here. Now, you can leave that. That's not a problem. Maybe that doesn't bother you. Maybe you just do a little bit of distressing around it, or you can add something like I have. So it looks like I'm going to use the whole length almost, as far as like the 12 inches goes, but I will be cutting off some at the bottom. Okay. So I'm just going to make a mark here just so I kind of know where I'm going to just cut it off. And if you have good hand coordination and can cut with scissors, please be my guest. I do not. So I am also going to, this book here that I have, it's very old. However, the pages are extremely, extremely fragile. So what I'm going to do is, it's a good base layer for things. So I tend to use it for that purpose. So if this is going to be like this, I'm just going to go ahead and add I might not, well, I'm just going to glue it down and see. Let's not glue it down yet. Okay, let me get an idea of how it looks, okay? Hold on. Yeah, see, I don't like that. I want the words to be where I want them to be. So if I do it like that, that's perfect. So the reality is I want to glue right here. And anything that's not glued will probably just come right off, which is perfectly fine. Like I said, this paper is very easily cuts off. And you don't have to glue it all the way down. That's just a personal preference of mine. You can just glue it just where the window is, or not have anything at all. Okay. Perfect. So now I'm going to have this here, and this is going to be perfect. Okay. Awesome. Love it. Okay. Love it, love it, love it. So I'm going to sew. However, let's go ahead and just glue for right now, just so that we can have this demonstration and you can see. So because I'm going to sew, I'm going to use my glue stick. If I wasn't going to sew, I would have used a glue that has a stronger hold. I mean, this is a pretty strong hold, but shoot, I just made a mistake. Okay, so here's a mistake. I want to fit something down here. Therefore, I don't want to glue this. So we can do two things. We could let it dry, which is probably the best thing to do, because there might be sticking residue. So I think that's what we're going to do. Rather than trying to wipe this off, we're going to let it dry. Okay, so I just wasted a little bit of glue. That's okay. We caught it. Okay, because we want something to be able to go down. Therefore, I can't be gluing all this down. So let's hold off weight it off. Oh man, it's okay though. We all make mistakes, okay? So again, because I don't want to take the chance, I'm gonna let this dry, okay? So let's let it dry, and then you'll blink, and then we'll be right back. Okay, it's dry. So now what we want to do is only put glue right here, around the edge here, around the edge right here, just at the top right here. And then on this side, you can put glue all over it because there's not going to be a pocket on this side. Now, if you wanted to do a pocket on this side, don't put glue all around it. And then we're going to put it down on our piece of paper because we already have it measured, right? I'm going to press it down. If you have something that you use to push things down, use that. I sometimes use my brayer. Okay. All right. So now I can see that I have a little bit of excess there. I can leave it for now and then just sew it. So now for the point here. So if I do 23, 1, 2, 3. So I probably want to do from here. So here you're just measuring where it is that you're going to cut your slit on the inside in order to, oh, we made another mistake, guys. Another mistake. It's okay though, because that's why we glued. Let's cut our slit before. So the slit is going to be your pocket. So the window's right here. Okay. So if I use my board here, my window is at 1, 2.5, and it goes all the way till 4. So I want to do my pocket. I want to make it slightly wide. So let's do it from this point here. Where's my pencil? I'm going to do my pocket from this point here to probably this point here. Okay. So I'm just going to, you won't have to do this step if you didn't forget to do it ahead of time before you glued the cardstock down, but I did, so that's why I'm doing this step here, guys. Hold on. And all I'm doing is simply putting my mat underneath in between my file folder and between my envelope, sorry, and my cardstock. And all I'm going to do is just cut a slit from the points that I marked. Just going to cut a slit. Okay, perfect. Well, if this video was a what not to do, I had you guys covered. What not to do. Don't do this or that or a little bit of this. Definitely don't do that. Okay, so now we have our pocket. Yes. I am going to go sew around and I will be right back. Okay, guys, did you do it right? Yay! I'm going to just clean up the edges a little bit. Maybe. This needs to be cleaned up slightly. We're going to fold it. If you have a bone folder, use a bone folder. If you have something else, use something else. And here's our cover, guys. Let me show you our pocket, hopefully. So this is just, oh, look at that. Perfect. So actually this could be made into something here if we wanted it to. A little writing space there. We can decorate this slightly. And you can ink this up if you wanted to. But that's it. That's our journal cover. So just like this one, as you can see, we can round the corners if we want to make it a little bit fancier looking. And there you have it. So we started off with this and a napkin and a piece of cardstock and some scrap pieces of paper, vintage ephemera paper, and turned that into this journal cover. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. I will talk to you in my next video, guys. Bye!